Good evening. Welcome to Have I Got News for You? I'm Martin Clunes. In the news this week, in Devon, Michael Fish's grandson carries on the family tradition of refusing to believe there's a hurricane on the way. As the Green Party open their new eco-friendly, carbon-neutral headquarters, doubts are cast on the ethics of the power supply in the basement. And at a holiday resort in the Mediterranean, Ed Balls suddenly spots George Osborne. On Ian's team tonight is a comedian whose wife recently gave birth to their first child. So congratulations on the arrival of 7 pounds 8 ounces of bouncy new material for his comedy tour. Please welcome Jon Richardson. And with Paul tonight is a journalist and broadcaster whose first novel was entitled The Legacy of Elizabeth Pringle. I must admit, once I opened it, I couldn't stop. Thank you. Please welcome Kirsty Wark. And we start with the bigger stories of the week. Ian and Jon, take a look at this.
Confident leadership.
Watch that hand. There's Chris Grayling, and that's back to the good old days. Dig for victory.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
That needs medical attention, that.
What is it, a lemon?
That's a man.
We're going to grow our own food, according to Chris Grayling. Back to a diet of turnips, carrots and cardboard. Didn't do us any harm in the war, so we're going to have it again.
He said that Britain will succeed, come what may, and responding to warnings that a no-deal Brexit could cause food prices to rocket, he said that we'll just grow more here.
This idea that we're going to grow more food... People don't even make sandwiches anymore. It just hasn't been out of the house. People are too tired and depressed to even put cheese between bread. It's like people go, well, I'll just grow some quinoa and some carrots then. And people will just die. We'll just won't eat.
Do you know, I'm positively upbeat compared to you. I think his point is that, you know, we can do it. We can forget, you know, currency. We can go back to barter system. We can exchange mud.
I think Chris Grayling's going full Ray Mears to prove his point. He's going to turn up to Parliament in a suit made of squirrels.
Oh, God, it's Brexit again. It drones on. We've had a dinner, we've had some talks about having more talks, and a dinner about having more dinners, and then talks about the dinner to have the talks, and they've agreed to do absolutely nothing, which is one hell of an agreement at this stage of the game.
I read today, she goes out there and gives, like, a speech, and then she comes back and they stay, which is not... You can't get any progress done like that. If she goes, so we're all agreed tariff-free access, and they go, yeah, all right, nice one. We're going to stay for a bit after you've gone. Just have a little chat while you're not here. She just gets on the plane and they go, so that's all not happening? We're all agreed. Yeah. Just say yes to her when she's here, and then we'll sort it out when she's gone, shall we?
That's what happens in the cabinet when she goes in the first place.
What a Labour during all this.
They're hiding. And it's a terrific strategy. Say nothing, keep really quiet.
Yeah.
Watch the Tories blow up.
How did Philip Hammond get into trouble this week?
He called the EU the enemy.
The enemy.
This is good for negotiating, isn't it?
He ended up apologising, but according to The Sun, he was still left humiliated. That is good, though, isn't it? That's really good. And what was he seen doing, Mr. Hammond, with George Osborne and a lobster that created further suspicion?
They were eating together. Was it not lobster and chips or something together?
Yes, according to the Mail.
It was the lobster plot.
That's right.
You see, it was a pun.
That's it. There it is, from the Daily Mail, the lobster plot. He was seen conspiring with arch-Remainer Osborne at a seafood restaurant in Chelsea. Hammond ordered the £21.90 house special lobster on a bed of pasta in tomato and garlic sauce.
It's good of him to post a picture of his lunch on Twitter.
Well, after it was regurgitated, it looks like.
Oh, what did Osborne have?
Osborne just had the bread and a bit of oil and vinegar. The comment section on the Mail Online went into overdrive over this story. You know what they were saying?
Busty Rihanna shows off her curves.
A teenage lobster coquettishly removes her shell.
She's asking for it.
dipping in her own sauce, she coquettishly looks towards the chips.
Get your claws off me.
Exactly.
One of them called Hammond a weak man and a traitor. And one said, self-interested traitors. Another wrote, traitors all. Whilst Big Simon Knight said, it looks like quite fair prices at that restaurant. What's the other big news on the economy?
Employment's up.
But inflation's up as well, so...
We've mislaid £500 billion. Britain overestimated its international assets and is £490 billion poorer than everybody thought.
I can't believe that was such a small news item.
I know.
Well, the Daily Mirror picked up on it, and to help us point out quite what £500 billion is equivalent to, they came up with this helpful thing. It's equivalent to 1.62 billion. And Labour inflicted a symbolic defeat on the Tories this week. What was that?
It was a telephone line, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
The telephone line that was 55 pence a minute to phone and find out whether or not you were getting the right universal credit while you hadn't got your universal credit. And to be fair, Jeremy Corbyn's been going on about this for a very long time, and suddenly, lo and behold, David Gauke, the pension secretary, said, it's gone, it's free.
Which is good.
Yeah, but it's a small victory and can...
I know, but it's such a shit thing to do. It's really good to stop doing. We shouldn't lose sight of that. What are the big criticisms of the universal credit?
It takes too long.
Some
You've got a
is taking
6-week
up
waiting list.
8, some is up to 10 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, and then
well, I'll
once
give you 12, 14.
Yeah. You can't
read
be
16.
assessed. You can't be assessed until you've had, if you're in work, your first month's salary. So they won't make a judgment on what you're to get. So for 6 weeks, sometimes people are sitting with absolutely no money.
The problem isn't the system, it's that they don't want to pay people who haven't got any money because they have this belief that, well, you should just get a job and work harder then. Why don't you? I was poor once for a weekend when Daddy didn't give me any money and I just got a job and now I'm a millionaire. So why doesn't everyone... If you're poor, why don't you just get money? I fundamentally get out in your bloody garden, grow your own food and just become a millionaire. It's a piece of piss.
What did we learn about Conservative MP Tim Lawton this week?
He spends an hour in the bath.
He thinks he does mindfulness in the bath.
Does he? That's good, that's good.
He works on his policies.
Does he?
I spend up to an hour in the bath every morning just thinking about things. It's like going to the gym for the mind. One of the greatest causes of stress in the world was the invention of the shower. He's a busy boy, isn't he?
But I don't understand, because I think by the time you've been in your bath for an hour, the bubbles have gone and it's cold.
It's really cold.
Ugh.
Everything's wrinkly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
More so for men.
I mean, the water's not cold if you leave the hot tap on.
Such wealth. You would be a hot tap in your lace-up shoes.
I'm growing my own
Jesus.
lobsters, Martin. Don't you worry about me.
Many were quick to point out that baths can lead to higher water bills, which might not worry Loughton too much. You know why?
He claims it on expenses.
Yep. He's charged more than £650 in water bills to the taxpayers since 2015. When the newspaper asked for a comment on this, he said, there is never, ever, ever advantage in talking to the mirror. Goodbye. Photographs of another MP in the bath were recently leaked. Do we know?
Really?
This is Vince Cable.
Yes.
After his wife, who's said to have taken them, sent the pictures to be printed.
Who does that anymore, anyway?
Well, quite. Do you want to have a look at them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. You haven't got them.
I assume you can't see
According
him
to the
anyway.
Times, you couldn't see any of the good stuff anyway. A combination of the photographic angle and bubbles meant that the Right Honourable Member is obscured below the water. Now, Vince was approached for a statement on this story, and I think we do have that. So this is the heated debate over a possible no-deal Brexit scenario. Insisting that the UK had to pay its fair share of the Brexit bill, Jean-Claude Juncker said, if you are sitting at a bar and ordering 28 beers and then one of your colleagues leaves, it's OK, but they have to pay. Which is all very well, but 50 billion euros for 28 pints? Who had the Peroni? Also, this week, the latest plans for constituency boundary changes were announced. Under the proposals, England will go from 533 down to 501 seats. Scotland from 59 down to 53, Wales 40 down to 29, and following consultations with the DUP, Northern Ireland will go from 18 right down to 62. Paul and Kirsty, take a look at this.
As a person reacted in some sort of terror. Because, orange sky over London and in the southeast, and hurricane there.
The red, that was the kind of dust, wasn't it, coming from the Sahara?
Yes.
Ophelia, yeah.
Is that the name of the hurricane?
Some of them are less scary.
Yes.
Hurricane Colin. I wasn't too bothered about, really.
Hurricane Boris.
Hurricane
Hot air.
Boris. Hot air, wind... God.
Hot air, wind and God. Actually, there's 3 personal attributes.
It's the first time we sort of see a red sky, and usually you sort of joke, oh, it's the end of the world. And this was the first time we go out and you think, oh, yeah, that seems about right.
What were you doing when the red sky came?
Oh, I just had lunch. I went to a little tea room called the Secret Garden Cafe with my daughter and wife, and I saw the red sky, and then I doused them all in petrol and we set fire to ourselves.
And some people joke that it was the end of the world, but others didn't joke because they knew it was the end of the world. Do you know who they were?
A religious group that's been predicting the red sky for many, many years.
A planet called Nibiru. It's what believers call the rogue planet, which is approaching Earth from the outer solar system. But this theory has been dismissed by NASA and by Christianity Today, which described one Nibiru advocate as a made-up expert in a made-up field talking about a made-up event. Which is quite a bold stance for a religious magazine. Apart from the red skies, do you know anything else that Hurricane Ophelia brought to our shores?
Did they sea creatures?
Yes, jellyfish.
in Brighton, yes.
Portuguese man of war.
That's a Portuguese man of war.
No, that's
Yes.
a plastic
Well, you should
bag.
enjoy it now. It's going home shortly.
Now, who were people hoping might make a comeback in reporting of the storm?
Michael Fish, was he found?
No, he wasn't.
Washed up on a beach somewhere?
No, they were hoping that the Irish reporter Theresa Mannion, who reported on Storm Desmond, would you like to see her doing
Yes,
that?
by all
Yes,
means.
oh yes, I remember
She's
that.
Really good.
Cannot repeat the advice often enough from the Gardaí. Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks on treacherous roads. And don't swim in the sea.
And high winds caused severe disruption to air traffic. But what caused an EasyJet flight from Mallorca to Luton to make an emergency landing?
No pilot.
That's Ryanair. Did they discover something on board? A snake?
They did. They
A
discovered
spider, no?
a smell event.
Yes.
That's how the airline described it. A co-pilot was overcome by the smell from a leakage of hydraulic fluid. Also in the world of plane travel, what happened to Flight 666 last Friday the 13th?
It arrived upside down and became Flight 999.
No, I think it managed its flight successfully, but it was flying to hell. It's the Finnish airline flight to Helsinki, but the ticket reads like this. Transport Secretary Chris Grayling this week launched a new fleet of high-speed trains from Bristol to London.
Yes.
He got on board, he hailed it as a fantastic service. You know what happened next?
It was 20 minutes late and the air conditioning broke down, so there was lots of water flooding down into one of the carriages.
Yes, but wonderful value at only £204 return. Let the train take the strain, let the train companies take the piss. A far more popular train service with children is to be upgraded. Anybody?
Thomas.
Yes?
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yes?
Chris Grayling is joining the cast. Chris, the
train.
useless transport secretary. He goes round and round in circles and then blows up.
It's a female train.
Yes, half of the next series will take place abroad, and there will be female engines, including Naya, Rebecca and Gina. And a female pop star has also been linked with Thomas. Any idea who?
Is it Paul McCartney?
No, it's Beyoncé. This is the work of The Azaria, fusing the theme tune from the Thomas the Tank Engine with Beyoncé. That's all the single ladies and all the day return ladies as well.
Are they sorted hand signals for there was a replacement bus service?
Beyonce pulled into the station, but the passengers weren't ready for the jelly.
Kirsty, have you ever been on the Flying Scotsman, the beautiful train?
No, I wish I had.
Yes, I'd like to go on it too. It took a journey the other day, and some train spotters waited for an hour to catch a glimpse of the mighty steam train. Let's have a look how that went for them.
Oh, look at this. Would you believe...
Oh, bloody hell.
This was the apocalyptic precursor to the end of days, according to Twitter, or a bit of dust, according to scientists at the Met Office. Gusts of up to 80 miles an hour caused havoc at airports. One Ryanair flight was even blown into the sky. According to the Times, Bill Clinton had to postpone a visit to Northern Ireland because of Hurricane Ophelia, which is a surprise. He normally enjoys getting blown across the Atlantic. Thanks, everyone. And so, to round 2, the picture spin quiz. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
There's another royal baby on the way.
Yes.
Judging by the fact you've stuck a crown on a baby.
William Hague.
I think it's remarkable that these scans are so in detail these days.
This is the news that the Duchess of Cambridge is definitely having the baby.
Yeah.
She told us she was going to have a few months ago. And, so excited by the news, the BBC's correspondent, Simon McCoy, made this announcement.
Their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, are delighted to confirm they are expecting a baby in April. Now, bearing in mind they announced that she was pregnant back in September, and it was thought she was around 2 or 3 months pregnant. I'm not sure how much news this really is, but anyway, it's April, so pay your diaries, get the time booked off, because that's what I'm doing.
I love that.
Any thoughts on possible names? You know what the bookies' favourites are?
Do we know if it's a boy or a girl?
No, we don't, so there's choices for both sexes.
Leslie.
Oh.
They could have a unisex name.
Is it Colin?
Leslie's a unisex name.
Yeah, that's what I keep
I think it
saying.
should be Colin.
King
It's
Colin.
time for King Colin.
According to the Daily Mail, if it's a girl, it's Alexandra, Elizabeth or Alice.
They have no idea.
Not a clue.
Just pick out 3 names.
Here are some names.
Here are some names.
And here are some names for a boy, Charles, Arthur or Frederick.
They're just other names that other royals have had once.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say it's going to be called Chardonnay, Beyoncé or Simon.
What will the baby definitely not be called if this year's naming statistics are anything to go by?
Ian.
Oh!
Is that an unpopular name?
Ian. No baby boy was given the name Ian in the UK last year.
Oh, no! It's impossible.
I see that as a personal tribute.
So this is the thrilling news that the Duchess of Cambridge is having a baby. Also, this week, Brian Blessed has revealed that he once heard the Queen use the F word. I'm guessing the context was, oh, fuck, it's that Brian Blessed again. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
Pole dancing.
Yes.
It's not in any way sexual, as this picture proves. It is a proper accredited sport requiring gymnastic ability and a beard.
And it's going to be an Olympic sport. It's an Olympic sport.
Is it going to be an
Yep,
Olympic
I think
sport?
it's going to talk about being an Olympic sport.
I mean, golf was in, wasn't it?
Yes.
Last year, I mean, if golf's a sport. I mean, just about anything is. Uno. I'd play that at the Olympics, that'd be really good fun. It's more athletic than golf.
Would you like to see some competitive pole dancing?
Yes, I think we're being unnecessarily
Not in this
rude.
programme, I just say, do you want to come and see? After the show, you and me.
Martin knows a place.
Got my name on the door. Yes, well, let's have a look at it. Where do they tuck the money? In the USA, what were pole dancers called when they performed in travelling fairs in the 1920s?
Pole dancers.
That's terrible.
Log ladies.
Hoochie coochie dancers, according to a history of pole dancing. Hoochie coochie dancers. They would dance with the pole that was holding the tent in place. Could have brought the house down. Thank you. Also, what international competition did the UK score a surprise victory over France this week?
Wine tasting.
Yes, out of 24 countries, France came 11th, 9 places below the UK, which was second.
Was it done on volume?
This is the news, that pole dancing may become an Olympic event. If it does, it'll be the first ever instance of bringing a sport into repute. Pole dancing is a serious sport that deserves serious recognition, according to the head of the World Dancing Federation. Ivana, get your kit off.
Oh, Martin.
What? Time now for the odd one out round. Your four are Cronus the Tarantula, Her Majesty the Queen, Andy Warhol, and a cougar on the loose in Mississippi.
I know the spider is kept by the Tory chief whip, Gavin Williamson. There's a story that if you were a Tory and you were going to vote the wrong way, he got you into the office and basically scared you by saying, I've got a tarantula. And they're going, I've got people much more poisonous than that working for me. Does Andy Warhol's dog scare people?
Prisoner of Zenda kind of
Prisoner of
thing.
Zenda? Are you saying they're duplicates?
I think the scaring thing,
Ah.
Would be a bit of a distraction, yes.
So he's got 2 spiders.
That does look like a waxwork of Andy Warhol.
Oh, is it a fake spider?
What is the odd one out, Ian?
We know he's talking to you because there's no other Ians in the country.
So they've all got doubles.
Except,
oh, I don't know, the cougar.
yes! Very good. They've all been replaced by stand-ins except a cougar on the loose in Mississippi this week, which was replaced by an imposter. Fox News reporter Scott Maddouse was sent to investigate sightings of a big cat on the loose in Hernando, Mississippi, and thought he'd got lucky. Let's have a look at his live report from the scene.
I'm Scott Mattis, live in Hernando, Mississippi, where there's been spottings of a cougar, and that's not it. That looks like a house cat, but we're just feet away from where a local man rolls his cell phone video on what some say is a cougar. I'll be right back with a live report.
I love the way he goes, sightings of a cougar, and that's not... Cronus the tarantula belongs to Tory Chief Whip Gavin Williamson. To evade the House of Commons' strict rules against pets, Williamson throws inspectors off the scent with a decoy soft toy spider in a Perspex box. He sounds fun, doesn't he? Anyone know where the name Cronus comes from?
It's Greek god. Time.
What did he do?
What did he do?
That
He
was
ate
notable.
his own children.
After
After he'd given birth to them.
castrating his father and throwing his testicles into the sea.
Ooh!
So the Jeremy Kyle show's been going for quite some time.
Andy Warhol sent his friend Alan Mijette wearing a blonde wig to give talks on his behalf as he thought he was more entertaining. Who pretends to be the Queen? Who's her stand-in?
I don't know who stands in for her, but I know who stands in her shoes, because whenever she gets new shoes, she has a woman who wears them in for her.
Well, who doesn't do that? This is Ella Slack, who acts as her stand-in during rehearsals for big events like Trooping of the Colour or opening of a new Nando's or something like that. Do you know what Ella is forbidden from doing when she's standing in for the Queen?
She's not meant to pass any legislation.
She doesn't pass anything. Well, due to strict protocol, she's never allowed to sit on the throne. Instead, she has to hover above it. We're not allowed to show you any footage of Ella hovering above the throne, but here's an artist's impression.
The Archbishop of Canterbury's looking well, isn't he?
Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, The Progressive Orthodontist. Always a great relief when that comes out. We start with time-travelling Wayne Rooney, what?
Crashes time machine.
Appears on Bayou Tapestry.
Fought in the Battle of Kursk in 1943.
Ah, yes, I was nearly
Did he?
right.
This is a Wayne Rooney Nazi lookalike spotted in a World War II documentary.
Wow.
I think his name's Hair Transplant. Next. I what said no one ever.
I'm
What's
going
a
to call
Google?
my twins Ian and Ian.
I floss twice daily and I love my dentist.
Is that an answer, or you just... I want straight teeth and I want to wear braces, said no one ever. Next. Farting clams. What? Sounds like an anagram of my name, doesn't it?
They're causing global warming.
Yes. They release more gas than 20,000 cows.
Yeah.
This is news that clams in the Baltic Sea generate an enormous amount of methane. Another cause for the strong smell of farts in the sea is that the mussels are too relaxed.
No, don't start.
No.
That wasn't clapping, that was relaxed muscles. Finally, dog absolutely off its face. What?
Votes Brexit.
Takes the internet by storm. This was a dog that was given some drugs on a trip to the vet, and here he is in the car. So, at the end of the quiz, the final scores are...
Yes.
Paul and Kirsty have 6 points, and Ian and John also have 6 points. And I leave you with news that, to clean up their position on Brexit once and for all, the Labour Party present one spokesman for Leave and one for Remain. In Brussels, one delegate is asked to give a hint as to how close we are to a Brexit deal. And managers at Middlesex Hospital are delighted with their choice of celebrity guest to open the new prostate unit. Good night.
Good evening. Welcome to Have I Got News for You? I'm David Mitchell. In the news this week, at a Conservative Party campaign meeting, Ian Duncan Smith realises he's going to be stuck next to the same person for the next 3.5 hours. Following Nigel Farage's shocked decision not to contest Tory seats, there are suspicions that the cause was a voodoo doll. And at a London hospital, an elderly patient arrives for his regular prostate examination.
Hi, how you doing? We're back and we're ready for it all over again.
On Ian's team tonight is a comedian who's talked about her epilepsy in her stand-up act and recently won the So You Think You're Funny competition, which was great until she had to pose with her award for the paparazzi. Please welcome Maisie Adam. And with Paul tonight is a former Conservative minister who stood for the Tory leadership and, in the middle of one TV debate, famously took off his tie, though in the end he lost out to a man who famously takes off his trousers. Please welcome Rory Stewart. And we start with the bigger stories of the week. Paul and Rory, take a look at this.
Ah, yes, a fatal combination of privileged and thick.
This is Prince Henry's first job.
In Woking, yeah. And that's them thinking, why on earth did I ever do that interview? So he gave this interview where he lacked empathy, not used to apologising for things, and thought it went really well.
It was perfect in every way. If you'd planned a 1-hour exercise in losing public sympathy, but at the end of it, your mother sacks you. I mean, That's a pretty bad showing.
I'm interested in your phrase, losing public sympathy. when do you think he was endowed with public sympathy?
When he was working in that pizza restaurant, when he was flipping the things in the
Yes.
film. Yeah,
So he's always been a tosser.
What did he announce on Wednesday?
He's stepping back.
Stepping back.
On the cliff.
Yeah. He's stepping back. He released a letter saying he decided to stand down from public life. If you need somewhere to lay low, I know of a house in New York that's conveniently...
He's not really giving up public life. Public life is giving him up.
Yeah.
And he's been dropped by a number of charities. Normally, if you're in disgrace, you go and do charitable work, but he's been dropped by charities.
Yes, he's also giving up his sovereign grant of taxpayer money, amounting to £249,000 a year. He'll just have to rely on handouts from his mum to supplement his meagre personal fortune of £57 million.
That is the big story, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great interview, but as ever in Britain, it was just all about sex. And it should have been about money, because how is he so rich?
Money is better than sex and can be exchanged for sex. What's the good news for Prince Andrew in all of this?
Was it unlimited refills at Pizza Express Woking?
I think even Pizza Express are going to disown him, you know.
No. Queen, charity and Pizza Express Woking.
He might sponsor a pizza thick and crusty.
And there's a possibility, of course, that this has all been concocted by Pizza Express to build up their publicity, like that whole story about them going bankrupt that never came to anything.
Yeah, it's exactly the sort of publicity any pizza chain would be looking for.
Yeah.
Disgraced member of the royal family with paedophile connections. Garlic bread half price off.
The good news for him, he's having to withdraw, among the many things he's having to withdraw from, it's his role as patron of the English National Ballet. According to a source at the English National Ballet, he does not like ballet. But how did he think the interview went?
Very well, he thought it went very well.
A palace source told The Sun he's cock-a-hoop. He seriously believes he's pulled off a master triumph.
I mean, I like the idea that someone said it was a car crash, as though the royal family cared about...
Any offers of panto this season?
We learnt some things about social etiquette during Andrew's interview. When is a birthday party not a birthday party?
Oh, when it's a straightforward shooting party.
Let's have a look.
Am I right in thinking you threw a birthday party for Epstein's girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, at Sandringham?
No, it was a shooting weekend.
A shooting weekend?
Just a straightforward shooting weekend.
We've all been there. We've all been there. It's a straightforward shooting.
We give the working class a 100-yard start.
Ghislaine Maxwell features a lot in this story.
She appears to be the procuress, the pimp, in this story.
Yes, when was the last time she and the prince had contact?
Earlier this year.
Yes, let's have a look.
When was your last contact with her?
It was earlier this year, funny enough, in the summer. In the spring, summer.
About what?
She was here doing some rally.
So even though he had by then been arrested and was facing charges of sex trafficking?
No. This was early spring, I think. It was long... Because when was he arrested?
July.
No, it was before July.
Every bit of that's weird. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell is here. She's here for a rally. What type of rally?
Yeah.
Just a straightforward shooting rally.
This is where the working class are given cars.
Where else has Andrew appeared with Ghislaine?
What, in recent times, or historically?
According to The Times, Andrew was wildly criticised after he appeared with Ghislaine Maxwell at a pimps and prostitutes-themed party.
Come as you are.
Ghislaine Maxwell denies any wrongdoing. Yeah, from wherever she's hiding. Why did Andrew choose to stay with Epstein when he...
It was convenient because there's nowhere else in New York you can stay. It's either that or sleep under the Statue of Liberty. They don't have any hotels in New York.
He had to stay with Epstein because Gary Glitter was busy.
We also discovered, to our delight, that Prince Andrew doesn't sweat at all. Why is that?
Because he was shot at in the Falklands War.
He's very specific about it, isn't he? He says, at that stage, I didn't sweat. As though now he sweats, but there was some sort of moment a few months ago when he didn't sweat. And then he pauses just to get... Yeah, no, I'm really sure that in that month I was not sweating.
Let me check my sweating diary.
Yes.
No, I wasn't.
You can imagine a James Bond villain who didn't sweat because of something like that. It's a sort of Ian Fleming thing, isn't it?
It'd be like the least badass movie of all time. Like, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to perspire.
The thing is, it would be a really serious condition, because if you can't sweat, you can't regulate your own body's temperature. He would have to never go into a too warm a room, or he'd die of heat exhaustion.
It's worth giving it a go, though, isn't it?
Much shock and outrage is coming from people who think Andrew should have been more dishonest in the interview. Who are these people?
Presumably my colleagues.
Actually, assorted PR gurus and royal watchers who are demanding to know why he wasn't coached for the interview. According to Penny Junor, he should have been properly briefed. Politicians don't answer the questions they are asked. They give the answer they want. I don't think he's bright enough. Yeah. So how bright are the royals? Rory, weren't you a private tutor to William and Harry?
I was, but they were 5 and 8. So I'm not really into dissing on my 5 and 8-year-olds.
So when you say you're not into dissing on them, that means you're certainly not going to just pay them a compliment and say they were very bright lads. Yes, this is Prince Andrew's attempt to clear his name, which only resulted in a total clearing of his diary. One critic of Andrew's decision to discuss his sexual activity was former royal advisor Dickie Arbiter. The perfect name for a sort of penis referee. According to the Mirror, it's not just Andrew who is suffering. Princess Beatrice may be forced into having a private wedding in a castle. Even worse, Ray's mobile disco refuses to be associated. According to the Mail, Virginia Giuffre claimed that when Prince Andrew visited Epstein, she was told to take him upstairs to the dungeon. An upstairs dungeon? Jesus, how posh are these people? According to The Sun, Andrew has scrapped a visit to flood-hit villages in Yorkshire. Shame. They were hoping to use him as a sandbag due to his unique ability to retain moisture. Now, Ian and Maisie, take a look at this.
Oh, float like a butterfly, look like a mammoth.
That's the replacement bus.
Digging for victory.
It's the big election debate. Yes, this is the ITV leaders' debate, which is so boring it makes you really miss the heady days of wall-to-wall Brexit negotiations. So Boris Johnson, as we saw, tried to psych Jeremy out by visiting a boxing ring before the debate. But how did Jeremy get himself in shape for the big fight?
Oh, I don't know. Ate his own jam that he's been making. Something really Corbyn-like that.
Let's have a look at how he got ready for the big fight.
And what preparation have you been doing?
Well, I've eaten a Caesar salad.
I wasn't even far off with the jam.
No, he wouldn't say whether it was romaine lettuce or not.
Lots of leaves.
Well... I don't know what you people want.
Entertainment. And they're starved of it. Poor devils.
Did you see at the end of the debate, they were asked to say what presents they would exchange to each other for Christmas? And eventually, Boris got round to going, oh, OK, I'd give him some jams. And then Jeremy was like, well, I make my own. It's like, oh, you're odd. Like...
What did you make of the beginning of the debate?
Is that where they shook hands?
No. Let's have a look.
We're live in Salford for a TV first. It's Boris Johnson versus Jeremy Corbyn. The ITV debate.
the worst remake of Charlie's Angels, isn't it?
That thing, watching it, is like some very strange kind of ritualistic sport, like sort of sumo wrestling, where you watch for sort of an hour, waiting to see what... And nothing happens, but there are all these people sort of commentating, watch this, and one person just goes, get Brexit done, get Brexit done, get Brexit done. The other one goes, NHS, NHS, NHS.
What
and then it's
sumo
over.
wrestling matches have you been to?
I mean, they did get some laughs, both of them, but not deliberately.
What was Boris's when he said, I think trust is important?
And that's a good joke from him. And then Jeremy had an absolute corker, which was that his position on Brexit is clear. Brilliant. I mean, you've got to hand it to them. I mean, they're funny guys.
Yeah, well, yes. Something I've always wanted to ask you, Rory, is when you were campaigning to be fantasist-in-chief, why did you take your tie off and sit in a funny way in the middle of that?
The moment where it went really wrong for me is about 3 minutes before that, somebody's just said, will everybody say what tax cuts you're going to offer? And I say, well, obviously, I'm not going to do any tax cuts because, you know, I think we need to increase spending. We shouldn't be cutting taxes. And there's this terrible kind of silence. And I can see 4 colleagues turn to me and saying, you're dead.
It sounds like such a lovely environment, the Conservative Party. Why were the Tories accused of misleading the public during the debate?
The Tory website, they changed the name of it to Fact Check, as though they were no longer a political party, but an independent group, and were just telling lies online instead of on a bus. Because there are lots of quite good fact-checking sites which help you guess whether people are lying or not. And the Tory party isn't going to be one of them. I mean, nor any other party. I mean, they're politicians. They're political parties. They're trying to persuade you. This is meant to be an independent site. I've gone very, very serious.
Why was ITV's decision not to allow Swinson onto the debate actually good news for the Lib Dems?
Viewers dislike Jo Swinson the more and more they see her. That's correct. And how awful's that? Like, of all the bad feedback you can get from the public, it's like they're sort of here and there about your policies, but you...
Yes, according to The Times, a new poll by YouGov this week shows that the more voters see of Jo Swinson, the less they like her.
But I think it's a development of it, isn't it? The more they see all of us, the more they dislike us. So
this programme's been running for 29 years.
This is the debate between Corbyn and Johnson, live on TV, which was a historic first, as for once, Carrie Symonds knew exactly where Boris was for an hour in the evening. Also during the debate, Jeremy Corbyn told a story about a friend who'd turned up at a hospital which looked like Beirut, in that it was chaos. And Jeremy Corbyn was in the corner laying a wreath for a terrorist. The highlight of the debate for Johnson was Corbyn's evident discomfort over Brexit. In fact, Boris hasn't enjoyed seeing someone squirming so much on a podium since he first met Jennifer Arcuri. There was a lot of other politics stories this week, so let's play the Politics Randomizer.
Hey!
Yeah, fingers on buzzers, everyone.
Yeah.
Here's the first one.
Well, you've just mentioned her, haven't you? I think she gave an interview somewhere where she said after the media attention that she was getting a couple of weeks back, she appealed to Boris, not for the first time, to help her with her media thing, but he cold-shouldered her.
Addressing Boris directly, she said, I've kept your secrets and I've been your friend. I'm terribly heartbroken by the way you have cast me aside like I am some gremlin.
Gremlin?
Which is exactly what someone would say if nothing happened, which is what you keep saying. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
That's what you always say about a political or business relationship that's gone on to hard time. You say you're heartbroken,
yes.
You? And you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
you've been
Feel
kept
cast
aside.
Like a one-night stand, is also what she said, isn't it?
Yes, it's what the email I got when we moved from Ocado to Sainsbury's
Yes.
online, you know. Who did Jennifer Arcuri fail to impress this week?
Lorraine Kelly.
She'd refused to say the one thing she was on the show to say.
Yeah.
And Lorraine Kelly said, well, why did you even appear?
Yeah.
Which, you know, is not a good precedent for people appearing on breakfast telly.
Yes, if you're not going to say something interesting and insightful, what's the point of this programme? Oh, bollocks. Let's have a look at that.
What's the point? Coming on, not answering any questions. Point that. Anyway, and I know it doesn't make any sense. What's the point of you coming on and then not saying anything?
I'm sorry?
What is the point of you coming on the TV to clear the air and then you don't say anything?
Well, I believe I said a few things. What is it that
Well,
you're
the
looking
questions-
for that I say?
Well,
that
you
I should
didn't.
say?
You didn't answer any of the questions that were put to you, and I just don't see the point of you coming on, to be honest. Anyway, let me tell you what's coming on after past.
In other news, why are Europe furious with Boris Johnson?
Is it a band?
Yes, a band called Europe are upset that the Tories are using their song The Final Countdown at rallies, presumably because Boris Johnson had a quick glimpse of this photo of lead singer Joey Tempest and thought, I'd like to meet her.
What's Corbyn having as his song? Should I stay or should I go?
And why has Nigel Farage accused the Tories of underhand tactics this week?
He knows them very well.
He says that various Brexit candidates have been bribed or attempted to be
yes.
bribed. Anne Widdecombe, she was given...
Not bribed with Anne Widdecombe.
They said the Tories had offered Anne Widdecombe a place on the negotiating team with Europe.
Here she is talking about that.
If the Conservative Party seriously thought that either I could be intimidated or effectively bribed, then that was a triumph of hope over experience on their part, because they should have known me.
Do you think she's trying to tell us something with those blinks?
She's signalling to U-boats in the harbour. The mission is tonight. The grey goose flies over Krakow.
Yes, so Jennifer Arcuri has been appearing on British TV demanding an apology from Boris Johnson. After her interview with Piers Morgan, Jennifer Arcuri was still on screen as Lorraine Kelly began her show by asking, what is the point of you coming on TV? Jennifer began her reply but was cut off when Lorraine said, actually, I was talking to Piers. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Here's another one for you. Ian and Maisie.
The Labour manifesto has been announced. They're renationalising rail, mail, water and energy, which just sounds like a really rubbish sequel to Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yes, you're right, Maisie. Then want to renationalise things. And basically, now everything is free.
I like the free broadband stuff.
Yeah.
The
what's
broadband.
that?
Fibre. I'm sorry, indicating fibre. I'm laying
Thought you were
fibre.
pleasuring an elephant. According to the Times, Corbyn's broadband pledge is an echo of a promise by Michael Foot in 1983 to create a full cable network in public hands. Though, to be fair, back then it just meant a national network of yoghurt pots and thousands of miles of string.
Why was Michael Foot about to lay a full cable network in 1983 when there was no real internet operating?
I think it was phone lines, wasn't it?
We had universal phone commitments a long time back. This must be something else.
What you're saying is don't vote for Michael Foot in 1983?
Maybe he could see into the future. It's all those books he read.
If he could see into the future, why did he bother campaigning? And finally, there's over 3 weeks to go, but what desperate measures have the BBC gone to liven up the election?
They cancelled our show last week.
They've cancelled Would I Lie to You till the new year. They've replaced Would I Lie to You with politicians.
Yeah.
Oh, the irony. It's doing this.
We have arrived in Bishop Auckland. We're here with the ta-da BBC Breakfast coffee cart
Right.
to talk about
Coffee.
the general election.
Right, go on then.
And so to round two, the picture spin quiz. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
Whoa. Who's he?
MI5 are trying to recruit working-class people and people from more diverse backgrounds.
They are indeed. According to The Sun, MI5 is targeting children of posties, train drivers, bar staff and gardeners, which is a change from their usual recruits of depressive alcoholics and closet homosexuals from the ancient universities. Isn't that right, Rory?
I'd quite like to see a working class 007, though.
Yeah.
It'd be quite cool, you know, like, I'll have a martini, but only if it's 2 for 1 on the happy hour.
Rory, apart from the fact that you went to Eton and Oxford, your father was deputy head of MI6. You've worked in the Middle East on multiple occasions and you can speak 11 languages. Why do people keep saying you're a spy?
It's because I'm a depressive alcoholic.
According to the Telegraph, you were recruited at Oxford and spent 7 years as a spy after leaving university.
So this was an amazing thing. During the leadership campaign,
Yeah.
Boris apparently planted this story, so right front page of the Telegraph, in order to destroy my leadership campaign. I never understood it. It like did me more favours than anything else in the entire leadership campaign.
It's cool to be a spy.
Yeah, sorry, this is like 007.
Yeah.
Are you saying because Boris said you're a spy, it isn't true?
I know you can't say you're a spy.
No, you can't.
But you're a
because your
spy.
life would be in danger.
Yeah.
It would be irresponsible of us to ask the question again.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Blink once for yes.
That,
Yeah.
if that isn't...
I blink!
If that isn't the shy smile of a spy, I don't know what it is.
Or it was a game at Oxford that was a prank on Rory, just didn't realise, and you just went off for 7 years believing you were a spy. It was just a freshers' game that got out of hand.
Yeah. In other news, who can tell me which former Tory MP once scaled a building to break into his own office?
It was Rory.
It was Rory. Very impressive for a civilian, yeah? We know you can't say, but it's lovely to have you here. Who has been claiming they're a spy recently? Relative of the fantasist-in-chief?
Stanley Johnson.
Correct. Stanley Johnson. According to him, in the 1960s, he was recruited while studying at Oxford and giving training which included the task of blowing up the power station in Blythe on the Northumberland coast, which he did successfully. And why was Stanley Johnson only a spy for 6 months? Stanley himself told The Times, "My incompetence might have cost people their lives." It's a bit of a family trait. This is the news that MI5 want to recruit more people from diverse backgrounds. Rory Stewart has denied being a spy, but has considered going undercover. He recently told New Yorker magazine that he considered living on a council estate for 2 or 3 years to better understand British poverty. Well, you could try, Rory, but thanks to your old party, there's a 30-fucking-year waiting list. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features a guest publication from Rory's old stomping ground, the Penrith Ramblers Group newsletter. And we start with what mocked for looking like Phil Collins?
Lewisham Town Hall. That's right, isn't it? I can tell. It's Lewisham Town Hall.
Not right.
But then people say it all the time. It's Phil Collins. Oh, no, it's Lewisham Town Hall.
The answer is statue of baby Jesus, mocked for looking like Phil
Oh,
Collins.
I've got to see this.
Oh.
This is a church in Mexico who accidentally installed this.
OK, give us a clue. Which is which?
And it's quite good, really. It's Genesis.
Yeah. Next, calls to ban what in the workplace as it's making people anxious?
Work.
Oh, I think I know this. Is it Secret Santa?
It is. Calls to ban Secret Santa in the workplace as it's making people anxious.
Why?
In Secret Santa, you get told you've got to get a present for so-and-so.
Yeah, for under 10 quid, say the Private Eye Annual, all good bookshops.
All right, yeah. It's a good thing. Other annuals from satirical magazines aren't actually available. And finally, after 10 years as chairman of the Penrith Ramblers Group, Graham was presented with what in recognition of his achievements?
A pair of golden hiking boots, signed by Craig Revel Horwood.
That is much better than what he got.
Is it a Private Eye Annual? Just for $9.99?
No, it's better than that.
There is nothing better than that.
A £5 Woolworths voucher.
How dare you? It is Graham was presented with a certificate and book token.
You know what he can do with that book token?
Yeah.
Just saying.
He can shove it up his arse, can't he?
So the final scores are... Paul and Rory have 2 points, but Ian and Maisie are the winners with 6.
Hey!
You are a genius. Thank you. But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
Looks like we'll be dogging again tonight. And I'm not saying who's saying it. But it's her with a cup.
And I leave you with news that, after claiming they could be Britain's next Prime Minister, one party leader adds some vital punctuation to the words could be. There's panic at a Labour event to announce costings for their manifesto as one candidate realises her fingers only go up to 10. And in London, after appearing on a comedy news quiz, one candidate reassesses his chances of becoming mayor. Good night.
Good evening. Welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Alexander Armstrong. In the news this week, there's embarrassment for David Cameron as footage emerges of some of those 70,000 Syrian ground troops in training. In Moscow, as he meets his next opponent, Russia's #1 judo star starts to think he may have to throw the fight. And home movie footage of a kitchen in Essex in the 1970s shows a career-defining moment in the life of Victoria Beckham. On Ian's team tonight is a comedian who is about to publish her first book, which is described as a funny exploration of the female body. I've done one of those. Please welcome Sarah Pascoe. And with Paul tonight is a Scottish politician who led the SNP for over 20 years, up until 2014. And then they got popular. Please welcome Alex Salmond, MSP, MP. And we start, as ever, with the bigger stories of the week. Paul and Alex, take a look at this.
Yes. This is obviously the bombing of Syria is beginning. This is there are many people who are against it.
This is shadow cabinet.
Ruining the snooker match.
And that's a Daesh tank going round in circles, so that should be pretty easy to bomb, that one. But I hope the other targets are as well. Big debate. The government got a big majority for bombing in Syria.
Yes, who gave the most impressive performance, would you say, in the debate?
The Speaker.
Actually, yes.
Because he didn't go to the toilet for 11 hours.
There's a special arrangement.
You mean like astronauts? Or what?
Yeah, exactly. Very similar arrangement. With a lot of tubing.
What, under all the breeches and the buckles?
Underneath, through the House of Lords, through the canteen, up through Big Ben, back again. It's an 11-hour cycle, so after 11 hours, you've got to get out of there.
You don't blow back, do you?
Exactly. Indeed.
Do you think there were people who made their minds up in the chamber on the night?
Well, they were forecasting a big majority, right? And then as the debate started, and particularly with Cameron talking about Corbyn as a terrorist sympathiser...
He was speaking to his wavering backbenchers, saying you don't want to walk through the lobby with Jeremy Corbyn and a bunch of terrorists.
Yes.
So that is actually smearing everybody who came out against the war. That's a good start.
Yeah. He was challenged on it a number of times. It was a foolish thing for him to say, but it was tactically daft because it would stiffen the resolve of some Labour MPs, you would have thought. There's one Machiavellian theory about that the Tories briefed that so that the question of the 70,000 bogus battalions, as one Tory MP called it, wouldn't be examined, that the debate would centre on the Cameron insult.
Oh, they're not that clever.
Well...
They don't deliberately make two enormous howlers thinking, oh, the lesser one will get all the attention.
Right, and the 70,000 claim was challenged by lots of MPs, obviously, including the SNP's Angus Robertson. I've got to... He is very impressive, isn't he?
He is, certainly is.
He's a leader, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Angus Robertson. You were there on Wednesday, because obviously the previous debate on the 26th of November, you had to miss that, didn't you? Because you were unveiling a portrait.
Which, incidentally, raised 50,000 quid for charity. It was a good portrait.
We've got
I hope you feel bad now.
Show the portrait. Go on.
It was for charity.
What are you doing to that sofa?
Did you see there was a Scottish Labour source who said if Alex Salmond was chocolate, he'd eat himself? There was a boy at my school who could do that. How has Jeremy Corbyn's week gone?
at first, I think he tried to argue to get the Labour Party to vote against, you know, have a whip sort of vote. But then, you know, as somebody pointed out, really, when it comes to matters of conscience, those services must be really whether you're sending people to war or not. It has to be a free vote. So that's basically how it turned out. So he didn't get the Labour MPs behind him necessarily. And Hilary Benn made a very good speech. And some people are saying, oh, well, Hilary Benn might be a bit of a contrast to Jeremy Corbyn, maybe about a leadership election sometime, you know, rivalry, maybe in a year or so. How much do you want?
Yeah, that's good. You've summed it up entirely.
Yeah,
but you've had a bit of a run-in with Hilary, haven't you?
I was doing a contrast between Tony Benn, who made some incredibly powerful anti-war speeches in the House of Commons, and Hilary Benn, who made a pro-war speech on behalf of a Tory Prime Minister. And I merely said that I thought his father would be burning in his grave. Now, it's a Scottish idiom. It means a deceased person would be surprised at that turn of events. And I have to say, I think that Tony Benn would be fair astonished.
Presumably, this isn't a new standpoint for Hilary. Like, so presumably they would have known each other for quite a long time. just judging from my own life and parenting.
Yeah, to have sort of people running around saying Ben Tory scum is new. Really, isn't it? I mean, it's a turnaround.
That bit wasn't me, you know.
No, I'm just paraphrasing you.
No, that's...
Who are the two gangs in the Labour rivalry?
They're called Momentum, which is the Corbynite one, and Progress, which is the other.
Like it's The Apprentice. Oh, my God, they've given themselves stupid names.
But there's a serious side to this. The divisions in the Labour Party gave Cameron a much easier time on Wednesday than he should have had, because much of the debate was actually focused about the internal battles in the Labour Party, whereas it should have been focused on dismantling what was a threadbare case for bombing in Syria.
According to one embattled Labour MP, every day is like opening an advent calendar of shit. What did one of Corbyn's most loyal supporters, Diane Abbott, do in a shadow cabinet meeting?
Light an advent candle?
Be dangerous. According to the Sunday Times, Diane Abbott tried to do an impression of shadow education spokesperson Lucy Powell. One source told the Sunday Times she's no Mike Yarwood. The performance was so dire that Corbyn loyalist John Cryer considered voting for bombing just on the basis of her contribution. But before the debate got going properly, what did the Conservatives stick the boot into?
Jeremy Corbyn.
Before the debate got going?
Jeremy Corbyn.
Just before... Yeah, no, it was the BBC.
The Conservatives were arguing that we should now, afterwards, call ISIS Daesh, which I think we should, because that's the mocking acronym that's used in the Arabic world. But there, of course, some Conservatives are so want to attack the BBC that it's not enough just to say, well, we should all be calling it Daesh. It's to say, and the BBC are not calling it Daesh yet, which proves that the BBC is a conspiracy.
And terrorist sympathisers.
Terrorist sympathisers, almost as bad as...
Because the BBC, rigidly, they call it so-called Islamic State, don't they?
Really confusing for old people if they keep just changing the name all the time, and isn't that why they're...
Yeah, that's what they say about biscuits, though.
Do they keep changing biscuits all the time?
All the time.
Bastards.
And Daesh don't like being called Daesh at all, do they?
So that's what people think that we should be, like that's going to hurt their feelings.
Yeah. Are we saying it right? This is Daesh. Daesh. So it's kind of like what Sean Connery plays backgammon with.
Yeah.
Daesh. Just to cheer us up, let's have a look at some slightly better international news.
This is for match point, I think.
Oh, look at that long.
Look at that.
Yeah, brilliant.
A British team winning the Davis Cup for the first time since 1936. And it's a great triumph for British sport, isn't it?
Yeah. I have to say, I think... It was Andy Murray and Jamie Murray and Andy and Jamie and... So basically, Dunblane won the Davis Cup.
Yes, a British win, then.
A British win. This is the news that Britain is now at war, just a few hundred yards across from where we were already at war. Leading Labour's pro-bombing faction was Hilary Benn, whose father Tony was president of the Stop the War coalition. Just goes to show, if you call your son Hilary, he will reject everything you stand for. Ian and Sarah, take a look at this.
I think that's Conservative headquarters.
Oh, I see.
There's some young Tories,
I see. Oh,
aged about 50.
I've got a lanyard. Oh.
Oh.
Which one's the one that you swipe if you don't like them on Tinder? You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah. It's just Grindr for me.
They had a horrible situation where a young member of their party committed suicide, which was terribly sad. But then now, afterwards, everyone's blaming everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the Young Conservatives who have been revealed as being ghastly, which is a huge shock to everyone, you can imagine. Because obviously everybody thought they were nice, moderate, well-balanced young men. And they...
Women and women.
And women.
And women.
But it's mostly the men who are doing the bullying.
Who is at the centre of this controversy?
It's a man called Clark.
Yes.
And Mark Clark.
Yes, there are claims that he'd blackmailed ministers,
Yeah.
he'd sexually harassed his sort of co-workers.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly, I have to point out, Mark Clark has denied all these allegations. What's the name that they're all going by, these young Tories? There's a...
Oh, the Tatler Tories.
Do you know why?
The Tatler predicted that this man Clark would one day be in the cabinet.
That's right, there was
and
an
the
article.
Tatler's well known for spotting political leaders.
I don't sound stupid now. What is the Tatler?
It's a magazine,
magazine
for knobs.
They had an article in 2008, and they picked out 10 young Tories who they reckoned were tipped for greatness. Here we've got a photograph of Mark Clark. There he is. That's him, second from the left.
Is the woman standing in front of him, is she saying to him, will you please stop pumping air up my sleeve? She doesn't know what he's doing it with, but she knows it's happening.
If she's actually just got a really, really fat lower arm, you're going to feel awful.
Is her dad Popeye? She's got an anchor on there. Is her dad Popeye? It'll be on the notes. If her dad is Popeye, it'll be on the notes.
It doesn't say.
It can't be her dad. Can't be her dad.
Oh, Camilla the Sailor Man, you're absolutely right. What was Mark Clark doing? What was his official role?
He organised these road trips.
That's right.
Of volunteers to drum up support for the Tory party.
Exactly.
The trouble about young Tory politics, it's so low level. It's literally young men going around saying, you will never work on the back desk of the Assistant Conservative Research Department ever again. And everyone goes, ooh, no.
Do they go very camp when they're
They are.
One of Clark's techniques is a thing called IIP. Does anyone know what that is?
Intimidate, interrogate, party.
Oh.
Have fun at the end of the day.
If only it was that.
Oh.
It's his technique for using alcohol to lure women.
You're joking.
And he calls it isolate, inebriate and penetrate.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Doesn't Theresa May stop those people coming into the country now? Don't we have rules on this?
Former Tory co-chairman Grant Shapps has had to resign. Why particularly did he have to resign?
Well, he was supposedly in charge of these young people not bullying each other. And there have been calls for Lord Feldman to resign.
But Grant Shapps had ignored repeated allegations.
And he was on the coach with them, was he?
Well, he appointed him in 2014, I think, to run these road trips. But he'd ignored all these allegations that had been presented to him. There's been an inquiry. What was wrong with that?
Well, they were going to have an inquiry led by Lord Feldman. And given that he was meant to be inquiring into himself, anything wrong, old boy? No, nothing at all. That didn't go very far.
But it should be OK, because the brilliantly named Lord Panic has been put in charge to oversee. I just love it if he comes in his robes. OK, and finally, on the subject of political activists, who'd like to see an Irish government minister being questioned by an activist in Dublin?
Yes, please.
This week. This was Andy Whelan from the Revolutionary Republic News questioning Irish Trade Minister Joe Costello over water charges.
Just ignore what they say and just keep on walking.
How is that fair? Having a party later, you know, we're fucking...
Why don't you walk up?
Let's see it again. Yes, this is the bullying scandal involving Mark Clark, the Tatler Tory. After his behaviour during the 2010 election campaign, a lengthy dossier compiled for Tory HQ said of Mark Clark, he didn't seem to know the difference between right and wrong, with a note in the margin adding, future cabinet minister, question mark? One of Mark Clark's colleagues on the 2015 road trip campaign was the recently ennobled Baroness Emma Pidding. Emma Pidding. I wonder if she's one of the Yorkshire Piddings. And so to round two, the strengthometer of news. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Here's the first one.
Oh, brains.
Yes.
Men and women's brains.
Yes.
Buzzer.
Oh, buzzers.
Ian and Sarah.
Brains. Men and women's brains.
Yes.
Men and women all have brains. So there's this...
I was just thinking that your brain didn't think about pressing the buzzer and his did, which is very annoying.
Yes, but my brain did get it right.
Yes.
OK.
Look, this is a story that says that men and women's
Brains are essentially the same. So women are from Mars and men are from Venus, whatever it was. That was just a book.
Yep.
Not true at all. The only difference is that men can understand buzzers quicker than women. Only one. And it's very tiny.
There's some technical thing.
According to Mail, scientists analysed brain scans of more than 1,400 men and women and found that while the odd person will have an all-male Mars or all-female Venus brain, the majority will have one somewhere between the two. In other words, most brains are intersex.
What is a male brain and what is a female brain? How does that?
Well, that's the thing. Another thing that's quite sexist is that they will say spatial and reasoning, male brain. So even the way that they treat brains is very sexist. There's an amazing book called The Gender Delusion, which is all about sexism in brain studies, and it's brilliant. And what is most prevalent is that they often do these studies, find no results, and they're not published. So for every one that's in the Daily Mail, there's 100 that found no difference.
Well, they said there's largely no difference. Professor Joel, who's the author of the study, according to Professor Joel, the study did show that if you looked at a brain, you could predict better than evens what the sex of the person would be. But it is much easier to look at the genitals.
Thing is actually now with gender, genitals isn't a sign of someone's gender anymore either. So actually, I think this Dr. Joel's an idiot. And I know he's got a very good qualification, and I can't use buzzers, but
I think she's a female doctor. You've just fallen into the.
Yeah, you are.
In other news, what facial feature might make men more sexist?
It's going to be something to do with facial hair and testosterone.
It's a beard. An Australian study this week found that men with facial hair were more likely to show signs of macho behaviour and a tendency to degrade women.
There was this other theory earlier this year where people said that more men were growing beards in a response to women wanting more power. So that they were asserting, like, oh, look what I can grow.
When they were...
I can't see much evidence here.
These people are not cool, trendy people. I said it in a jokey way. You know what I meant.
Right, let's get her.
When the
Not cool and trendy.
What fashion trend might help soften the macho bravado of these chauvinists this time of year?
The man bun.
The what?
The man...
The man bun.
What is the man bun?
I didn't wear mine tonight.
Didn't you?
It's when men have quite a lot of long hair, but they wear it up. Actually, very similar to this.
It's like that.
I see.
But on
and
man.
You didn't wear yours tonight, Ian?
I didn't, no. Because I didn't want to, you know, make the audience feel uncool and trendy.
Let's move on from that statement and stop.
The must-have accessory for this Christmas is glitter beards.
Glitter beards?
Yeah. This is a scientific study that has discovered there are no real differences between male and female brains. According to the Daily Mail, the male brain tends to withstand pain better than the female brain. Yes, I remember when my wife was giving birth and she squeezed my hand so tightly, I didn't say a word. Right, fingers on buzzers, teams. Yes.
Golfers are getting confused. Because Brussels sprouts have become genetically engineered to be exactly the same weight and size as a golf ball. It's super sprouts.
It is super sprouts.
It is super sprouts.
It is super sprouts, yes.
Nobody knows how to control them.
Sprouts
a
are getting
sprout
bigger.
like that could take over the world.
They're getting... Exactly. These are monster sprouts.
Monster sprouts on the market. If they grow legs, we're in trouble.
Why are they so big?
Because they're massive. They're great big buggers, and they don't care who knows it. They were bitten by a radioactive tortoise, and they've grown hugely.
Or just a warm August.
A warm August,
yeah.
The most deadly of all foes.
Well, exactly. Who is this bad news for, obviously?
Little sprouts. The runner Bean's done a runner. I'm out of here. Who's it bad news for?
For children, obviously.
Why is it bad news for children?
They don't like sprouts.
Well, they don't have to eat them then.
Well, no, also because these abnormally large sprouts,
Yeah.
they will measure 40 millimetres wide,
Yeah.
45 millimetres long,
Yes.
which is larger than the average child's mouth.
Well, you could cut them up.
We've got a sprout comparison chart here to make things a bit clearer. There we are.
OK.
They're monsters. What do we have to thank?
Global warming.
Global warming. According to The Independent, experts say the unusually warm weather this autumn had seen sprouts grow an extra 20% larger. Speaking of climate change,
yes.
How have world leaders been tackling the issue?
In Paris.
They have indeed. They're going to limit global warming, if they can, to 2 degrees centigrade this century. So it's pretty much all sorted, which is great. Who was representing Britain there? Who was helping to represent Britain, I should say? At the
David
climate
Cameron
conference?
and Prince Charles.
Prince Charles, yeah.
They were both there.
Here's Prince Charles showing how passionate he is on the issue.
I'm going to write you a letter if you're not careful.
Jon Snow cancelled a meeting with Prince Charles at the conference. What was the reason for that?
Prince Charles had a 15-page memorandum which he hands to the broadcasters, the things you can and cannot do, you cannot and cannot ask them about. And they said, well, in that circumstance, we won't interview them.
Absolutely right. So it was over, Channel 4 described it as North Korea-style control methods by Clarence House.
Yeah, it was a list of questions they couldn't ask. Are you looking forward to anyone dying?
And the Sun mocked up Charles as King Jong-un. Who had a heartwarming historic handshake at the conference?
Heartwarming historic.
It was the Israeli and Palestinian leaders. So Netanyahu and Abbas shared a handshake. What soured the moment?
Occupation of Palestine?
No, just as just as the historic moment was happening, the president of Comoros, Iklulu Dawanini, got in the way of the camera, so the only official photograph of the historic handshake looks like this. Time now for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. Farmer Ben Fletcher's sweet potato, Geminoid F, Kellogg's cornflakes, and John Prescott's office.
Yeah, I think this is about sex, basically.
That's sex?
Yeah, because Geminoid F is a sex robot. I've heard, I've been told. I read somewhere, I saw it on television, something like that. Anyway, Farmer Ben Fletcher's, he's the farmer who keeps unearthing sensuous potatoes.
Sensuous potatoes?
Sensuously shaped
Your knowledge about this is disturbingly thorough.
And I think the office is where John Prescott had sex.
Yeah. With that lampshade
Temple.
With a lampshade. With a lampshade. And it was revealed that Kellogg, the originator of cornflakes, was anti-sex. Because people had cornflakes in the morning instead of having sex. Therefore, all the other three are about sex, except cornflakes. I suggest it's cornflakes.
You listen, that's amazing.
It's like watching a Scottish Columbo.
Wasn't it?
Because you went through each of the facts one by one, and I deduce. It was brilliant.
If you wait long enough in a programme, you get onto your specialist subject.
Sensual potatoes.
Dr. John Harvey Kellogg and his brother Will came up with the cornflake recipe as they believed that plainer foods helped cleanse the body and mind of erotic desires. Though there was an unfortunate misunderstanding early in the marketing process when he asked a designer to put a massive cock on the cereal packet. What was Dr. Kellogg's novel approach to eating yoghurt? Did you hear about that?
No.
He believed that after administering your morning enema, a pint of yoghurt should be consumed half through the mouth and half through the anus. Hence the expression, done on. You're absolutely right about Ben Fletch as well. He found a sweet potato vegetable so sexy he couldn't bring himself to eat it. What was so sexy about this vegetable?
Boobies? Did it have boobies on it?
No, but according to the Mirror, it bore a striking resemblance to someone with a rather shapely behind bending over. There it is. What did Fletch do with it instead?
Did he give it a good fork in?
He told reporters, "We threw it away as I didn't want to cook it." Threw it away. It's in his special drawer in the shed. According to The Sun, John Prescott's old government office was destroyed this summer to stop officials being distracted by thoughts of the former deputy PM's romps. But to be honest, the sofa they used was pretty much destroyed at the time. Gemini Def. Now, listen, it's not a sex robot.
No.
I mean, it's just a robot.
Yes. Where's the sex robot coming in?
It was a wild guess. I've got no specialist knowledge of this.
Here she is.
Good. What's meant to be sexy about that?
It's been dubbed the world's sexiest robot.
Yeah.
But who voted it the world's sexiest robot?
People. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication Pest, the independent UK pest management magazine. And we start with, is it an insult to call someone what?
Reverse charges.
No, is it an insult to call someone Gollum?
Oh, yes.
President Erdogan of Turkey is prosecuting someone who claimed he looks like Gollum from...
And that is the case for the prosecution.
Next, Australian politician's son, what in family Christmas card?
Oh, yeah. Flicking the V sign.
Is it sulks? This is a young lad who wouldn't be in the Christmas card, so they went ahead and he's about 6 feet away.
Exactly right.
Looking
yeah,
very
Australian
upset.
politician's son is a delightful little Scrooge. Australian Labour politician Andrew Lee's family Christmas card went viral this week after one of his kids was featured on the card sulking. And finally, Colin McCook chooses prize of £100 worth of bedbug and cockroach traps after winning Pest Magazine's what competition?
Only reader.
Guess how many cockroaches are in the picture?
Oh.
There you are. This is a blank autocue.
This is
For a minute there, you'll have to rely on raw talent.
Oh. Perish the thought. The final scores are Ian and Sarah on 6, but Paul and Alex running away with 10. Wow. But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
Oh, no.
Potato found in Green Park.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Sarah Pascoe, Paul Merton and Alex Salmond, MSP MP. And I leave you with news that, as a new training course begins, it's clear Operation Nutri has taken its toll. In Japan, as the recession worsens, a robot servant is told he's going to have to be let go. And after repeated public criticism of his leadership, Jeremy Corbyn, along with members of the Left Unity Group, make their way to Hilary Benn's house for Clear the Air talks. Good night.